and then we'll open it up for questions.
Sure. First of all, I'd just like to say what an honor it is to be here and be at such a great bowl game, and obviously, you know, in our second national championship game. This is a great town. They do a great job here, and I know our guys are really excited about getting the opportunity to play in the game. And, you know, it's good to see you guys again. So, you know, from there, we'll roll with the questions.
Questions, please. Raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone over to you. Second row right here, Cecil.
I'm Cecil Hurt from the Tuscaloosa News for Coach Mack. Since we hadn't had a chance to talk to you since the first time you played LSU, just talk about what happened, what was frustrating about that game, what you can take positive from it from November the 5th.
Sure. You know, the one thing that we take positive is, you know, our guys competed their tails off, and that's something that we're proud of as a staff. I thought, you know, our guys played hard against a very, very good defense. Obviously, we came up short a little bit, and, you know, I think our resolve and wanting to get back out, you know, is something that we're really shooting for. But, you know, they are a very, very good defense, and there's no doubt about it, and this will be a great challenge for us.
First row right here.
Coach Chase Goodbread, Tuscaloosa News. Coach McElwain, the first time you went through this experience in 2009, it was with a first-year quarterback, Greg McElroy. Now you're a game away from the same thing, also with another first-year quarterback. Just how unlikely is it that you could take two first-year guys and see them through this far? And what are the challenges of working with first-year quarterbacks?
Well, I think the great thing about working with first-year quarterbacks is I don't have a couple years to screw them up. So they're doing a pretty good job of taking what the defense is giving them. You know, I think you know, AJ's done a good job as an understudy, and I think one of the great things there that you kind of lose focus on is he had an opportunity to learn from Greg how to prepare, and I think Greg was a great study for AJ, and you know, I'm really proud about, you know, the way that he's progressed.
Left side, third row.
Izzy Gould, Mobile Press Register, McElwain. I wanted you to talk a little bit about how AJ performed in the LSU game. I know a lot was made out of the sack that he took in overtime. And then can you talk a little bit about your personal relationship with him? Obviously, you had Thanksgiving dinner at your house.
Yeah. Yeah, he put up with my cooking. It was unbelievable. He actually smiled and said he liked it. I don't know if he really did or not. But, no, you know, obviously you get real close to those guys. We spend a ton of time together, and you know, AJ has really done a good job, I guess, adapting to my nuances, and which is really good. You know, he obviously has some plays he'd like back. But I tell you what, he competed hard, and you know, he's ready to go, and we'll see where it is from there.
Right here on the right side.
Hey, Coach. Doug Mouton with WWL-TV here in New Orleans. Could you talk about LSU's corners as cover guys, as good as you've seen? Sort of from your standpoint, how good are they?
Scary. They're the real guys. And, you know, I think that's one thing even in this league that you see. I mean, the defenses in this league, you know, are really, really good. And these guys are at the top of that heap. And you know, our receivers, I really believe we have a great receiving core, guys that compete hard, guys that want to go out and win, and yet they'll have their hands full because, you know, that back end is as solid. Even when they bring guys in, you know, in their different packages, they're all really good cover guys. And yet, you know, that's how you get in a game like this. So, you know, we've got our work cut out for us.
Left side, third row.
Here, Coach. My name is Johan Esk. I'm from Sweden in Europe. I wonder if you can...
Well, is the soccer match over there?
No, that's the interesting thing. For us in Europe, we don't have this thing with college sport. I wonder if you can try to explain how come you Americans are so passionate about American college football.
Oh, you know what? That's a great question. You know, I think one of the things is probably the physical nature, you know, number one, and kind of goes back to gladiator days maybe a little bit, and yet I think it's probably has to do more with the fact that it's ours. You know, it's something that kind of has grown up here, and our culture has grown up with it. And, you know, the passion of the fans, and especially, you know, in the league we're in, is unlike anywhere else. But I think that probably has something to do with it.
Right here in the third row.
Coach Jeff Shear from WSFA in Montgomery, how have you been able to balance moonlighting, having 2 jobs at one time?
Well, it's been a challenge, but I think as these guys can attest, you know, our focus since I left there has been, you know, for this ball game, and what I try to do is late at night make the calls and catch up. Coach Saban has been unbelievable, you know, a help, because he went through kind of the same thing when he took the Michigan State job when he was with the Browns. So leaning on that experience, and he's been really good about helping, you know, with some of the office staff and that kind of thing. And you know, it's routine as normal. You know, as a coach, you don't get any sleep anyway.
Right here on the right side.
Really a question for all three of you guys. Sean Fazan from WVUE TV here in New Orleans. What is the biggest challenge of offensively when the long layoff in between games? Just kind of, how do you guys approach that? How did you guys approach that?
You want to go on that?
Yeah, I think something that's really important, just kind of maintaining your rhythm. I think the way we approached it is we had a few days where we kind of had almost scrimmages, you know, where we did a lot of ones-on-ones reps that were just about full speed, everything but tackling. So I think you got to do a lot of that, a lot of one versus your defense, just to make sure you stay in sync as an offense.
Just pretty much what Barry said. You know, just the timing and the situation of the game, and just, you know, using what we got to get what we want.
Right down here in front.
Rachel Barbeau, Cox Media Group. This question is for all of you guys. Coach, you talked about it being kind of a gladiator feel, and I think everybody in the country looks at these two teams and realizes that that's what you have on display and what's going to happen on Monday night. If you'd all just comment on knowing the team so well, playing them year in and year out, being in the same side, the same division, and then also having the rematch this year.
Well, obviously this is a great rivalry, and you know, we've got tons of respect for this outfit. They're very talented, and you know, I think knowing each other, you know, from a preparation standpoint, I'm sure there'll be some new wrinkles, you know, because of that fact. Yet, you know, we're just really excited to be here, and I think our guys know that we have given, you know, kind of received a second shot, and we're excited for that.
I think this is a really unique game just because the first time we played in this game, I said it was the most physical game I'd ever played in, and I still believe that. I think that's why it's such a cool opportunity to get to do it again, just because, you know, it's really not a secret. We know what we're going to do and what they're going to do. You know, it's going to come down to who wins in the trenches, and that's kind of an offensive lineman's dream, this kind of game, you know, where you can just be physical, and you know you're going to get a physical game from them because of the style of their defense and the talent of their defensive line. So I think, you know, as an offense, and specifically as an offensive line, we're really excited about that challenge.
Mainly because I think the name, because both of our teams are physical, and that's what we pride ourselves on, and that's what they pride themselves on. So the thing about it is who gonna be more physical in the game, and that's what we're working on in practice, and that's what we continue to do until Monday.
Left side, front row.
Don Counselor of the Birmingham News. For Jim, you've had 4 years now of being the offensive coordinator, working under a coach who's all about defense. What's that been like? Has there ever been friction putting a game plan together or calling particular plays?
No, there's never been. I couldn't have asked for a better experience. Coach Saban is all about helping. He's all about the whole team, all three phases of the game. And, you know, I think the one thing we've done a pretty good job of since we've been here is complementing each other and understanding that at the end of the day, it's about figuring out how to win the game, however you do it. And I think Coach is a master of that.
In the back, Pete.
Pete Thamel from the New York Times. Jim, a little bit of a philosophical question here. When you look at this game, the LSU and you guys obviously have the number 1 and 2 defenses in the country. When you look at the NFL playoffs, the Packers and the Patriots have the 2 worst defenses in terms of yardage in the country. It's probably a little bit of an anomaly, but I'm just wondering philosophically how you think we got to this point where they're 2 sort of so different means to an end.
You know, that's pretty good. You know, I think, you know, still at the end of the day that you know, the idea is to make sure that you're sound against the run defensively. You're able to stop people down in the scoring area. And you know, I know as an offensive coordinator, it's great to have those good defenses. And that's something that over the career maybe we didn't have. And yet it's pretty comforting. And, you know, to think of it from that aspect, you know, those are 2 obviously great offenses, and yet, you know, I think the big games are really come down to who can stop people, and that's the key.
Right side.
It's for Coach and Bear. It's Mike Neighbors from Cox Sports TV. Trent's had a great year. What has he meant to this offense, and how do you see his role in this game?
You know, I think there's no secret that he's, you know, our most valuable player on offense. I think more than that, he really is just a great team player. You know, when you think of Trent, he's a guy that I love blocking for just because of the way he approaches the game. You know, I think there's not many people who could have sat by for 2 years and kind of played behind Mark, you know, where he probably could have started anywhere else. And I think for that reason, the way he was a teammate and showed that patience, we were all really excited for this year where he could kind of get his turn to shine the spotlight. And he's done a great job of that. And obviously, I think it's going to be extremely important for us to get him going in this game. And, you know, as an offensive line, we know that's our responsibility. So really excited that Trent's getting this opportunity and, you know, glad to be there right alongside him.
Right here, right. I'm sorry.
No, I'll second that. And, you know, just an unselfish guy. And I'm glad he's on our team.
Brad Zemanek, Montgomery Advertiser. And this is for each of you, but we don't get a lot of chance to talk to Coach McElwain. But could you at least just describe the players of what he's like as a coach? And for Coach McElwain, could you describe what type of an offensive coach you are? What are some of the things that you like to get accomplished that we don't have the inside access to?
Well, I'll let these guys have a chance to take a shot at me. Go ahead.
Man, he's fiery guy. I love him. I think we all love him. Great coach. Gonna be a great coach at Colorado State. And I mean, I wouldn't want to go in this game without him. I mean, without him. My bad. And I mean, I love him, and I feel like he loves us. And you know, he tell us what we doing wrong. He will get on us, no matter from Trent, myself, Barrett, anybody on offense. He will get on them. Even the scout team guys, he get on them. So he's always hollering. You know, so sometimes we have to keep him up. We have a little thing where we put our hands up. Sometimes we have to grab Coach's hand and pull his up. Some days at practice.
I think the biggest thing about Coach Mack is I think he's a teacher first. You know, he's a great teacher of the game, and he really, I think you can tell he really has a passion for that. That's what he really loves to do is teach kids like us the game, and he's extremely gifted at that. And just the way he breaks down offenses and helps us understand it. You know, the second thing is definitely his passion. You know, he's extremely passionate about Alabama, about us as people, and you know, he always knows what we need. You know, if we're getting too confident, he's going to be there to bring us down, and you know, if we're dragging a little bit, he's going to be there to motivate us. So we've loved being under him. I've been under him my whole career, and what a great offensive coordinator, and just I'm really going to miss him.
You know, just because of what they said, don't think you're getting off easy this week, okay?
Left side.
All right, Richard Fisher, Tiger Rag Magazine. You know, there's intense coaches and laid-back coaches, and there's no doubt that Nick Saban is on the intense side of that spectrum. What is it about Coach Saban that you two players really say, you know, this is a guy that I want to play for?
Just his approach to the game. I don't think nobody approached the game like Coach Saban. He approached the game full attack. He never looked a day further. He going on that day. So I think his approach to the game and that his intensity. And that's what he instilled in all of us, that intensity and that physical playing style.
I think the best way to put it is, when you're getting recruited, you go around to a lot of different places, and you hear every coach sitting in their office and tell you that they're going to win a lot of games and you're going to be a big part of that. But then when Coach Saban tells it to you, you just believe him. He looks you in the eyes and says, we're going to win championships, and he lays out a specific plan of how he's going to do it. And I think that's what guys buy into. And I know me personally, I knew when he told me that we definitely were going to win championships, and that's what's happened. And it's been great to play for a guy like that who has such a specific vision and who really knows how to get there and who's done it before. And another thing, he's not quite as – he is very intense, but he also does joke around some, when you guys aren't looking. But he is sometimes laid back and easy to talk to.
Back on the right, Pete.
For Marquis and Jim, I wonder, Marquis, did Claiborne cover you much in the first matchup? And if you could tell me a little bit about his skill set as a corner. And for Jim, you've obviously seen a lot of good corners in the SEC. I'm wondering if you could stack Claiborne up and talk about his specific skills that make him unique.
Well, in that first game, I think he is a left corner or right corner, I'm not sure. But he really didn't go with me much. He just stayed on his side. He's a physical guy. Long arms, like the quick jam, just an all-around great player, and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Well, how that guy stacks up, I think was your question. I'll be glad not to play against him again. Guy's pretty good.
Do we have any other questions? In the back.
For Coach Mack, Brady Ackerman, CSS. Coach, how much do you look at the last tape and take the good from it and implement it into this game plan? And how do you keep from over-preparing with this long time off?
That's a great question. I think sometimes, as coaches, we've had 40 whatever days since we played, and kind of making sure that you don't put too much in and think about from that standpoint. But, I think it's a great learning tool from, every year we've played, against this defense, and against the guys that they had. Obviously, we made some mistakes in the first game, and those were things that you always try to correct no matter what game it is, and then move forward. And I think spending too much time in the past sometimes, we've got to look forward and get ready to just play it with whatever we have.
We have time for one more question. Anybody? Right here, on the right side.
Joe Medley of the Anniston Star. In particular, when you look back at the first game, were there things you look at when you get in scoring position, red zone, that especially? Yeah,
that was obviously a frustration for us. And, I think has a lot to do not only with what we didn't do, but obviously what they did. Like I said, I can't say enough how much respect we have for them as a defense. And, when you look at the lack of plays down in the red area from accumulation of a full season, kind of tells you how good that defense is.
Thank you.